So I had to sit down and talk to my mom. But when I made that trip early in 2013, I had met people from Apple the Apps camp. I didn't meet him specifically, but I met one of his engineers. And he was like, hey, what do you want to do?
How'd you meet his engineer, though?
I met him through a mutual friend. And then he introduced me. We went to the studio. We just vibed, and I was playing music. Excuse me. And yeah, he was just like, what do you want to do? And I was
That's
like,
a nice question, though.
yeah. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I said, I want to move to LA, and I want to solidify a career in music and really hit the ground running with whatever opportunity I can find myself in. And he was like, okay, cool. And I was like,
That was a nice elevator speech, huh?
yeah, right?
Yeah, short and simple.
Yeah. And I was like, that's it? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. Because like you're expecting something, you're expecting a different response. But I was like, all right, whatever. Like, let's make the most of the situation. And I spent a lot of time in LA networking, meeting people, and really trying to let them know, hey, I'm a songwriter. I do this, I do that. I was staying with my mom in Chicago.
Oh, this was still Chicago.
This was still Chicago.
Shoot.
So when I took that trip, I was still staying with my mom. And then the last conversation I had with one of Apple the Apps camp, they were like, hey, we'll let you know if anything pops up, but let's keep in touch. I said, sure, let's do that.
And then you went back.
I went back to Chicago, back to the regularly scheduled program. I had a job.
Nibbling your fingers going, when is it going to happen?
Yeah, I was just pacing back and forth, texting at least like every other week, like, hey, what's going on? Like, what you guys doing over there, right?
Yep.
And so he hits me back. His name is Edgar. He hits me back and he goes, hey, you still looking to move to LA? I said, yeah. And then he goes, because Apple's looking for another assistant/driver. Would you be interested? I said, hell yeah. I'm packing my shit now.
So Apple the app wasn't looking for a songwriter. It was just looking for an assistant.
Yes.
/driver.
Yes. So that was my official
That was
role.
your in.
That was my in. But I looked at it as I'm working for a guy that's part of one of the biggest groups in the entire world.
And you know what it means to be assistant and driver, right? It means you're the guy beside the guy.
I'm the right-hand guy.
Yep.
And for me,
Actually,
it was
no. You're on the left side because you're the guy driving.
the left side, actually.
Yeah.
But when we were in Europe, I was on the right
Right, yeah,
side.
exactly. Okay, continue.
But it was-
Interesting story.
But it was my perfect way in.
Right.
Even if I wasn't directly associated in music,
You were there.
I was in the world.
Yes.
So I said, yes, I'm in. And then 2 weeks later, I was moving to LA. My mom always knew I wanted to go. But until I could provide her with something solid for me to leave, she was like, fuck no, you're staying home.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, I have a job with Apple the App.
And she knows who Apple the app is,
She was like, oh my God, really? When do you have to go? So I was like, I gotta leave in 2 weeks. But no one gave me like a start date. They were just like, all right, cool. So I just took it upon myself, like, fuck it, I'm out of here.
Right.
I quit my job in 2 weeks. And I felt kind of bad because my manager, I was working for T-Mobile at the time.
Oh, nice.
My manager was one of my best friends that I grew up with.
Okay.
So then we were just hanging out. I was like, hey man, I quit. He's like, what do you mean quit? I quit work. He's like, why? You have to fucking put in your paper, like your official papers. You can't just tell me. I was like, well, I just figured since you're my friend, I could just tell you I'm going to quit. So I quit. I quit in 2 weeks. I packed up all my shit and I left.
Wow.
I left Chicago in 2 weeks.
You haven't met Apple in person.
I have not met him in person. I quit my job. I quit everything. I was like, Mom, I'm out
So
of
this
here.
is Edgar vouching for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, Mom, I'm out of here. And she's like, where are you going to live? I said, shit. So I hit up my friend Lex because he's from LA. I said, Lex, can I crash at your place? He was like, sure. Yes, you can. I was like, sweet. And he lived in Chatsworth, so up in the valley.
Yeah.
So I said, Mom, I have a place to stay. I get to LA, and I'm like, all right, what do I do? Right? I move all my stuff into my friend Lex's house. And then right from the get-go, I'm in the studio at Edgar. And we're working on stuff. Apple Diap was nowhere to be seen, was not in the picture because he was out of the country just doing what he does.
And you never told Edgar, when do I start? When do I start? When do I start?
I just showed up.
You just showed up.
Yeah, I showed up. I moved in November. It's going to be 7 years of me being in LA November 1st.
Okay. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. And I just showed up. But the flip side of me staying at my friend's house and his parents' house, I was doing studio sessions till like 3, 4 in the morning.
Right.
And I couldn't just ring the doorbell
Of course.
and call.
Yes, that's rude.
So there were a lot of times I was sleeping in my car in front of their house.
Waiting for
them to wake up.
Exactly.
And then it got to a point where I was actually sleeping in the studio. I would ask Edgar, like, hey, man, I can't really go back to the place I'm staying at. Do you mind if I just crash here? He was like, fine. There's a futon. You're more than welcome. Still not on the payroll, not really officially an employee. Could things have turned for the worse? I could have been like, man,
yes,
working for free. Right?
But Lex was gracious enough to let you stay for free as well.
Yeah, he was him and his family were very gracious enough to let me stay. But I felt the schedule that I immediately fell into was just kind of inconvenient and kind of rude.
Yes.
For their family, especially because I'm coming home at such late hours. So I decided to just randomly get my own place, like come December. Moved in.
Whoa, that was fast.
Yeah,
huh?
really fast. Because I felt bad, and you know, it just wasn't a nice feeling to be like, oh man, where am I going to sleep? I got to sleep in my car again. December, I found a place. I found a roommate, another friend. His name is Chris.
Another Chris.
I have a lot of friends named Chris. We got a place in Sherman Oaks. I was like, cool. I feel more relaxed now. I have a place to stay.
Right.
Let's go. Middle of December, I meet Apple Diap.
How?
He finally came home.
You knew you were going to meet him that day or no? You
No.
were just at the studio again.
We were at the studio because his studio was at his house.
Right.
So I was going to his house, but I was just in the studio. Me and Edgar were working. Out of nowhere, Apple Diap walks in. I was like, it's dude from Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then Edgar was like, App, this is, the new guy that's going to be working for you. He's the new driver. He's the new assistant. And App was like, yeah, cool, man. And that was it.
That's it?
I was like, shit, this guy doesn't like me.
Nice guy, though.
Nice guy. Super nice guy. One of the nicest guys I know to this day.
I saw him riding his scooter on Rowena and Hyperion.
Oh, really?
Near that place. I go, Apple!
Yeah.
He said, what's up? That was it.
Yeah. One of the nicest guys till this day that I know. I'm really fortunate to still, to be friends with him and to still be, in.
So 2 words, huh? That was all he
Yeah,
said.
he's like, what's up? And then
What'd you say?
I was like,
Starstruck.
nice to meet you, man. And then we went out. We went to dinner. We did our thing, and
You drove.
I drove. But it was my first time really driving around in LA, so I was like, shoot, I don't know where to go.
Wait, did he know? Did he figure out that you were from out of town?
He knew I was
He
from out
knew
of
that
town.
already. Okay.
But I just think you're in that position. You just hit the ground running, and you just roll with the punches. That night, studio, dinner. We went to the club. We went to go get tacos. I didn't know where I was going.
So when he was awake, you had to be awake.
Yes.
Okay.
So at that point, my entire life was his life.
Correct.
And so my first few months working under him was just strictly that. Personal assistant stuff, driving him around.
Schedule.
Gatekeeper.
You were the gatekeeper.
I was
right?
the guy.
Uh-huh.